Hey there, lady. My name is Molly Conley, and I'm devoted to helping women reinvent their love lives, whether that's after divorce, dating on and off the apps, or in their committed relationship. Why? Because I've been there. I'm a former college athlete who filed for divorce 3 years into marriage, swam in the online dating pool into my late 30s, and now I am married to the man of my spreadsheet dreams who I met 4 months before the world shut down. As a dating and relationship coach, I help my clients shift the focus from being obsessed with finding Mr. Right to shifting to herself as Miss Right Now. We build a foundation filled with clarity, connection, and confidence, knowing she is worth waiting for. Each week on the podcast, I'll bring you love life insights and savvy guests, where you will receive the courage to release programmed limiting beliefs. Discover patterns and behaviors restricting you from finding and attracting quality men, and ways to choose yourself first so you can build a foundation for a healthy relationship with yourself and a partner. Hey, ladies, welcome back. I'm so excited that you're joining me today on this next episode of Reinventing the Arena. My name is Molly Conley, your host. I was inspired by my last episode. I'm in fact recording this 20 minutes after I recently finished the last episode because I wanted to chat about one of the things that I brought up. Now, if you listen to the episode, I mentioned something about how fun it is to be able to go to a family gathering when you're single and possibly leave because you're going to go hang out with your friends on Christmas night. So I wanted to update this because, yes, that was so much fun, but that was also during my college years. And as I got older, I got married and I got divorced. And at that time, a lot of my friends were just getting into relationships or already had become married and just started having kids because when I got divorced, I was in my 30s. And those next almost 10 years, the holidays were so different for me. So I would either be spending them with my hypothetical situationship that I thought was a relationship, or I was doing Christmas activities and family holidays with someone I was dating long term, like 1 or 2, maybe even almost 3 years. But those holidays where I was all by myself was a little tricky. So, what I started to do, well, let me backtrack for a moment. The way my family started to celebrate Christmas differed than what we had when I was growing up. We used to wake up in the mornings on Christmas, open our gifts, and then go to my mom's parents' house because my dad's side of the family lived in a whole different state, and we rarely traveled there over the Christmas time. So as I got older and I started to get into swimming and I swam in college, all those holidays just kind of started to become a blur. The swim season, especially because you would come home for Christmas, and as soon as Christmas was over, a few days later, you were flying out for a training trip or some sort of thing like that. And then when you got back, you only had a few more days until, semester started back up again. And while I didn't have much to think about it back then, I really didn't think it was going to be that difficult when I was single. I was like, oh, I'll just do exactly what my family is going to be doing, and that's that. Well, when I was married the first time, we started to do a different tradition because there was this huge snowstorm that happened in Omaha in, I think it was 2008 or 2010. And the streets were really bad. There was interstates being shut down. My brother, in fact, was taking, if you live in Omaha, you know about the overpass bridge on Dodge. My brother was taking that route and actually totaled his brand new car. If I think it was brand new, totaled his car. He ended up being fine, but he was driving up from where he lived at the time, and he was from living in Kansas City for a job. So it was not the most ideal time. And we decided that we were going to start celebrating Christmas whenever we wanted to, not just on Christmas Day, but just when we could get everybody together. So one year we got everybody together on Christmas Eve by chance, and we were having a few drinks. I had just finished wrapping my mom's gifts with my dad. So if you listen to the past episode, you heard how that all got started in college. Um, and so next thing you know, we're like, why are we waiting? Sadly, we're not kids anymore. We can open gifts whenever we want as adults. My family doesn't go to church, so we weren't needing to go to Christmas Eve Mass or anything like that. So we decided to enjoy the appetizers we were having and go ahead and start opening gifts. And that just became my Conley Christmas tradition. This year, we're not able to partake in that. My husband and I are driving up on Christmas Eve, and my brother and his family aren't arriving until Christmas night. So we're doing our Conley Christmas on the 26th, early morning. So if you're listening to this on Christmas Eve, which is when I'm about to drop it, you'll already know the plan. Or if you're listening to this after, you obviously now know it's over. But with that said, what did I do during my college years then, or even actually during my single years when my friends weren't around? Because those friends that I did go out with ended up moving away and going out for their masters in two different parts of the country. One went into California, one went to Florida, or actually Atlanta, Georgia. And so it really made it difficult of like how we were going to celebrate the holidays together when they would come back because they would want to spend more time with their families. Totally understandable. So I don't remember who told me about this sort of tradition of going out for dinner because I used to wait tables as a living when I was in college or when I actually had to work two jobs to make ends meet. I'd have a full-time job and I'd wait tables at nights or on the weekends. So I always was like, who is going to keep their business open on Christmas Eve, let alone Christmas? There's not that many people who want to go out to eat. Well, lo and behold, there's me on a Christmas where my brother isn't able to come back or something like that. And it's just my parents on Christmas. And I decided, I was like, well, I think I'm just going to head home for the day. And I really didn't have any plans. And so I get onto Google, I'm searching on my phone, on my computer, whatever I had at the time, to find a place to eat. Well, maybe you know, maybe you don't. Some of the only places that are open on Christmas are Chinese food restaurants. And I had this moment where I'm like, there's only two or three Chinese restaurants open in town right now. Yes, I'm going to have to drive 30 minutes. They're not even answering their phone. I hope I can go in and order and see how long it takes. And so I drove across town, put in, and there's a line, which is surprising because I'm like, I cannot believe how much business these places are getting on Christmas Day or Christmas night, excuse me. So it's like 6 or 7 o'clock at night, and I'm ordering thinking, oh, I'll get this in 10 minutes. No, I'm getting it in like 30 or 40 minutes, which is honestly now super reasonable. And I head back to my apartment and I'm like, I'm going to watch some of my favorite Christmas movies, which my favorite Christmas movie, because I'm a huge Bill Murray fan, is Scrooge. And so when you're listening to this, my husband and I are having to do our own Christmas before we go out of town to Omaha to visit our family. So we're doing it on the 23rd and grabbing Chinese food and pretending it's our Christmas night. So that became a tradition. I started doing that every single year from probably 2014 on. So when I was dating that person, the person I dated before I met my husband and before I actually took my long getting to know myself, dating myself season, that boyfriend and I would do the Christmas Eve with my family. We would do Christmas with his family in the morning and into the parts of the day. And then we would have our own Christmas at night where we would unwrap our gifts, get Chinese food, and watch his favorite movie and my favorite movie. So that was how we would wrap up Christmas and how I would wrap up Christmas. So even when I was, on my own and not dating at all, I did it every single year. What's wonderful is that my husband loves this idea and enjoys it being something completely different and unique. Now, Why am I bringing this up? Here's the reason why. I had to figure out when I was single something that I enjoyed to do for myself on the holidays. And when I tried a few different things, something finally stuck. Doing a one of the favorite types of food that I love, like I literally crave pizza, Mexican, and Chinese food every single week. Seriously, I love them so much. If I could eat them every single week, I would. Am I capable? Yes. Is that not necessarily great for my PCOS and my body? Yeah. So we don't do that every week. So having Chinese food on Christmas has always become like been my thing, and it's become like a special tradition. So how did I get there was by a few things. Was becoming resourceful, figuring out what necessarily was open for dinner. What would I want to eat? What sort of evening do I want to have? And really making it my own. So, why am I really bringing this up? Well, when you're single over the holidays, even though I listed all the pros in my last episode that I personally feel are pros, or reasons why being single over the holidays is amazing, there's going to be those holidays where it's kind of sad or it sucks in some sort of way. Maybe you're missing a family member that has passed away, or maybe you can't get together with your family for the holidays because of, like hypothetically, the weather, you can't make it or something like that. Or maybe if you're married with kids, or and then you get divorced and your kids are with your ex for that holiday instead, like you have to find something that fills you up. And I don't mean like obviously stomach, like duh, eating food fills you up. But I mean something that is truly just for you, that becomes a tradition for yourself because you're something you're looking forward to do for you. That could be everything from like something I mentioned in my last episode was maybe you do a movie marathon. Maybe you decide I'm going to have my own little dance party in my living room, or maybe you're decorating some part of your house or redoing a hobby, like I had mentioned too, like something that's just so much more personal and allows you to bring yourself more to the front of the day of the holiday. So, I hope that this little mini episode really inspires you to think about how you can make any holiday one that you would normally spend with a significant other, one that you would normally spend with family, and even maybe like the upcoming holiday, like New Year's Eve. How can you make that special just for yourself? And maybe that's including like going out and finding friends that also want to do this. Maybe you have friends that are single as well that are like, "Oh my god, I would love to come over and watch like 5 Christmas movies and eat pizza and Chinese food all day." Fantastic. Or maybe you have a friend that's like, "Yes, let's do a silent disco." And you come over and you're playing your favorite music and your earbuds, and they're playing their own and you're just dancing and having a good time. Whatever it is, make Christmas, as if you're single especially, make it your own. Find a way to look forward to next year's Christmas because you're doing something that is specifically interesting to you and lights you up. Because that is one of the first steps to learning how to date yourself, so that when you do find the person that you want to be with, or that may basically like helps you become even a greater person, that complements the relationship. All right, ladies, thank you so much for listening once again to this short episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Like always, let me know what you think. I have been receiving the messages and I greatly appreciate everyone that's been listening so far and your feedback. And I can't wait to keep recording these for you. And yeah, until next time.